Good morning, students. In the last period, our second chapter, Microorganisms, Friend and Foe, was completed. Today I am going to start your fifth chapter, Coal and Petroleum. Now we will see the chapter Coal and Petroleum. Here we use various materials for our basic needs. Some of them are found in nature and some have been made by human efforts. Now in our daily life we are using various materials and some of them are found in a nature and some of them are made by human being. And in the sixth standard we are already aware about that what is the natural resources and what is the man-made resources. Now in that we learn about the material which are found in a nature. The material which are found in a nature, those are called as a natural resources, and the material which will be made by the human being are called as a man-made resources. Here one activity is mentioned, activity 5.1. We have to make a list which we are using in our daily life. We have to classify them in a natural resources and in man-made resources. Now we can easily classify this which are found in a nature. These are called as a natural resources, in which are found, which are made by man, it is called as a man-made resources. Here natural resources just like sunlight, air, forest, wildlife, minerals, coal and petroleum, natural gas. And man-made resources like buildings, houses, uh, fridge, washing machines, cupboards, these are called as man-made resources. Here, does this list include air, water, soil and minerals? Yes, this list include air, water and soil and minerals. Since these all these are obtained from the nature, they are called natural resources. Yes, they are found in a nature and that's why it is called as a natural resources. Now one question is asked there, can we use all our natural resources forever? Here one word is mentioned, all. Can we use all our natural resources forever? And here is the answer, no, we cannot use our natural resources forever, as they are present in a limited quantity or limited amount in a nature and take more than 1,000 years to recycle or regenerate. We cannot use all the natural resources forever because they are present in, some of them are present in a limited quantity and they are taking more than thousands of years to recycle or regenerate. For that purpose we cannot use all. Here all, it is mentioned, all natural resources forever. Now the second question is that, can air, water and soil be existed by human activities? Be existed by human activities. Here existed means संपणारे, संपू शकतात का, व्हॅनिश्ड होऊ शकतात का? Here answer is no, air, water and soil cannot be existed by human activities because these are renewable resources and they get replenished with time. These resources can be replenished with the time, air, water and soil. And we already learned the concept about water in class 7. Is water is limitless source? Yes, water is limitless source. Water cycle will be there. In the light of the availability of various resources in a nature, nature resources can be broadly classified into two kinds. In two types natural resources will be divided, classified. One is inexhaustible natural resources and another one is exhaustible natural resources. Inexhaustible natural resources न संपणारे and exhaustible natural resources संपणारे resources. Now we will see briefly inexhaustible natural resources. The resources are present in unlimited quantity in a nature and are not likely to be exhausted by human activities. Not likely to be exhausted by human activities. These resources are present in a nature in unlimited quantity, and they cannot be exhausted by the human activities. And examples are sunlight and air. We can get all these things 24 hours. Now population will be increases, it not be effect on the sunlight and air. Now exhaustible natural resources, the amount of these resources in nature is limited. They can be exhausted by human activities. This can be exhausted by the human activities. An example of these resources are forests, wildlife, minerals, coal and petroleum, natural gas, etc. These natural resources, exhaustible natural resources, are present in a limited quantity. They can be exhausted by human activities. They can be exhausted by the human activities, and examples are given: forest, wildlife, minerals, coal and petroleum, and natural gas. Here I want to mention here, for the sunlight and air we are not giving money, but for the petroleum, for the coal, we are giving money because they are present in a limited quantity. Now here activity 5.2, one activity was mentioned, why existable natural resources are important for us and for the next generation, was mentioned in the activity 5.2. It is a group activity. It is a group activity. We have to see, take some containers and fill them with popcorn. In one container popcorn, second peanuts, roasted grams, toffees, and divide students into group of 7 each. We have to prepare 4 or 5 groups of the 7 students, and further each group divide into 3 subgroups containing 1 student, 2 students, and 4 students. Label them as first, second, and third generation respectively. For the first student, 1 student will be there, it is called as a first generation. For the 2 students, it is called as a second generation, and 4 students will be there, this is called as a third generation. Now these subgroups these subgroups represent the consumers. These subgroups are there, these represent the consumers. ते जे वापरणार आहे, त्या गोष्टीला वापरणारे आहेत ते. As population is growing, second and third generation have large number of consumers. Now we are aware about that in 1950 India's population is very less. Now in 2011 the population will be increases. In this way, here we are preparing the generation, first generation, second generation, and third generation. In first generation, quantity is less, population is less. In second generation increases, and in third generation increases than second generation. Here, as population is growing, second and third generations have large number of consumers. That's why we keep 1 student in the first generation, 2 students in the second generation, and 4 students in the third generation. Now put 1 full container for each group on a table. We are taking these tables, we are taking these tables, and we are putting that all separate containers, and ask the students of first generation of each group to consume eatables from the container of their group. All four eatables are there, like popcorns, 1 container will be there, peanuts, 1 container will be there, roasted gram, 1 container will be there, and toffees, 1 container will be there. Now when we ask the first generation student to consume the eatables from the container, they are consuming whatever they want, they are consuming, they are taking from that container. Afterwards we have to ask for the second generation consumers from each group to do the same. They have to consume for themselves, and again second generation, they are taking their eatables from the container. Ask students to observe carefully availability of eatables in each container. If something is left in the container, ask third generation for each group to consume it. And now finally observe whether all the consumers of third generation got the eatables or not. Also observe if anything is still left in any of the container. Now here what happened, when first generation they are taking, that time quantity will be reduced. Again second generation, when they are using, that time again quantity will be reduced. Maybe third generation, all the 4 members, they cannot get all these things in a equal quantity. Maybe 1 member will be remains they are not getting anything. In this way, what happened here, from this activity they have to mention that the existable natural resources are in limited quantity. We have to use these materials judiciously. Now here assume that the eatables in the container represent the total availability of existable natural resources like coal, petroleum, or natural gas. These containers which have an eatables, those represent the total availability of existable natural resources, coal, petroleum, or natural gas. Each group may have different consumption pattern. Now here in this petroleum, it is required on the large scale. Suppose natural gas, their uses will be less, but they are also in a less quantity, which is present in a less quantity here. That's why it is mentioned here. It may Each group may have different consumption pattern. Each group may have different consumption pattern. Are the earlier generation of any group too greedy, ते जास्त लोभी होते का आधीच्या जनरेशनचे लोक? It may be that the earlier generation in some groups were concerned about the coming generations and left something for them. Some of the groups are there where the generations, they are thinking, they are concerned, they are thinking about the which will be remains for the next generation, which will be remains for the next generation. We have to left something amount of these materials for the next generation. Here in this chapter we will learn about some exhaustible natural resources, who are present in a limited quantity, like coal, petroleum and natural gas. These were formed from the dead remains living organisms, and so these are called as fossil fuels. These are called as fossil fuels. How coal, petroleum and natural gas will be formed? From the dead remains of living organism. Dead remains of living organism. That's why it is called as fossil fuels. Now our first point from this chapter 5.1, coal. Coal. You may have seen coal or heard about it. It is as hard as stone and is black in color. कोल, कोळसा जो आपण ऐकला असेल, आपण कधी बघितला जरी असेल, तो दगडासारखा कडक असतो आणि काळ्या कलर मध्ये असतो, ब्लॅक इन कलर. कोल is one of the fuels used to cook food. We are aware about that. Earlier ancient people, they are using such as a fuel for cooking food. Earlier it was used in railway engines to produce steam to run the engine. That also concept we are aware. The earlier in railway engines, this coal was used for the produce steam and to run engine. It is also used in thermal power plants to produce electricity. Thermal power plant, which is related with the heat energy, to produce electricity. Coal is also used as a fuel in various industries. This coal is used as a fuel in various industries. Now here one interesting story about the coal is mentioned. Here we will see one question is asked there, where do we get coal from and how it is formed, we will see the story of that coal formation. About 300 million years ago, the earth had dense forests and low-lying wetland areas. About 300 million years ago, 300 दशलक्ष वर्षापूर्वी, the earth has a dense forest, दाट घनदाट जंगल, and low-lying wetland areas. Due to natural processes like flooding, these forests got buried under the soil. Due to the natural resources like flooding, these forests buried under the soil. As more soil deposited over them, they were compressed from the upper side. The temperature also rose as they sank deeper and deeper. The temperature will be increases when they are going deeper and deeper. Under the high pressure from the upper side soil pressure and downside high temperature, dead plants got slowly converted to coal. As coal contain mainly carbon, because plants, they are containing carbon dioxide. The slow process of conversion of dead vegetation into coal is called carbonization. Here, about 300 million years ago, the earth has a dense forest in low-lying wetland areas, and when the natural resources like flood situation will be there, these forests got buried under the soil, and more soil will be deposited on them, and it will be compressed in the soil, earth. And we are aware about that in the center of the earth, temperature is very high. When they are sank deeper and deeper, the high temperature will be observed, and under the high pressure, upper side high pressure will be there of the soil, and downside high temperature will be there. Because of that, these dead plants got slowly converted to coal. As coal contain mainly carbon, we are aware about that. Plants, they are using carbon dioxide. That's why the coal is prepared from the dead plants. That's why it also contain carbon content. and the slow process of conversion of dead vegetation into coal is called carbonization. It is most important definition. Afterwards you write in your notebook. Since it was formed from the remains of vegetation, the remains of vegetation, since it is formed from remains of the vegetation, coal is also called a fossil fuel. Coal is also called as a fossil fuels. A coal mine as shown in figure 5.2. कोळशाची खाण, coal mine. Here it is shown the picture coal mine 5.2 coal mine. Here we will see our next part. When heated in air, when coal heated in air, coal burns and produces mainly carbon dioxide gas. Mainly carbon dioxide gas. I already mentioned that it is a plant product. It is a plant product. When dead plant converted into the coal, and plant, we are aware about that they are using carbon dioxide on the large scale. That's why when coal are heated in the air, that's why it produces mainly produces carbon dioxide gas. Coal is produced in industry to get some useful products such as coke, coal tar, and coal gas. The coal will be produced in the industry to get some useful products such as coke, coal tar, and coal gas. These products we will see in the next period.